item 6 with our Woodman Center update with Public Works Director Mike Bain.
Good evening, Council. Thank you very much. Woodman Center update this evening. The final bid documents are essentially done for the project. The basis of those bid documents are the construction drawings, and those construction drawings and specifications are complete. They have been submitted for commercial building plan review, so that process is ongoing at this current time. We anticipated at the next council meeting that the Jets lease will be brought forward to the City Council for review and action. So two weeks we can look forward to that. And as a follow-up to my last update, the state still has not released the process for pursuing the state funding at this time, but we are eagerly monitoring what that's going to look like when it rolls out, and we will definitely be prepared to get something submitted, and we're excited to do so. Next steps after securing the state funding, issuing the bid documents, and we expect about 4 weeks after issuing the bid documents that we would be opening public bids. And approximately 4 weeks after we open public bids, we expect that we would come back before the entire council and provide the council an opportunity to consider awarding a construction contract, working through any questions the council has. 4 weeks between opening bids and the council consideration will allow us to sort through the alternate bid items, that there are a number of alternate bid items on this project, as well as align our funding so that we can bring a solution to the council, and in hopes that the council takes action. If the council awards a construction project, we would then proceed with winter construction activities that would consist of building demolition of the existing vacant Sears building and site utilities. And both of those activities are very appropriate for wintertime construction. So we feel good about where we're at today. Very good. With me this evening, I have two guests from the Friends Group. Christine Rebout and Larry Squire are going to address the council and provide some updates on what the Friends of the Woodman Center have been up to recently as well. Following that, I would be happy to answer any questions from the council.
Thank you, Mike. As Mike said, I am Christine Rebout, Friends co-chair of our fundraising group. We wanted to give you just a little bit of an update on what we've been working on as far as community outreach. We have had over 40 engagements, and that can be anything from a large presentation to a service club to a small group of individuals, but over 40 engagements, and that has included over 10,000 individual contacts with people. Those do not include our largest project, which was this past month at the 4-H Fair. The Friends Group manned the new jump pad attraction at the Rock County Fair. The fair itself had over 86,000 in attendance, and working a few of those shifts at the jump pad, I feel like all of those people were there maybe twice. It was a very popular attraction. We had over 60 volunteers representing 30 different organizations throughout the community. Those could be service clubs to stakeholder groups. So we had a lot of community engagement. We had over 250 volunteer hours from those volunteers. Again, it was open 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day. We especially want to thank our morning volunteers who had the extra duty of sweeping 3 inches of rain off the jump pad a couple of mornings. So it really was a great community outreach project and a lot of networking. The most common question that we saw and that I saw there was, when will construction begin and when will the facility be open? These were families with young kids and older kids, and I myself was on the jump pad. Every age really is just excited to begin to use the facility. That was what we saw the most questions for. The other exciting announcement that we would like to make tonight is we have received a $1 million anonymous donation to our private fundraising group. That then takes our total pledges to over $9 million. So we are very excited to say that we've reached some of those initial goals. It's important to say that we're not done fundraising. We're not going to stop. We will continue. We know there are additional donors and people who are interested in supporting the project. I'm going to now turn it over to Larry Squire to talk really specifically about our plans for that $1 million donation.
Yeah, a huge thank you to that individual, and none of us have a clue. I mean, we have banged our heads against the wall to try and figure out who it might be, and then then I think I finally said, who cares? All we did was say thank you, look up, and know that somebody's watching over us and giving us a little extra boost right when we needed it. And right when we needed it has to do with getting the locker room addition on the outside for our 2 high school groups. As we've been working through, with Mike and his group and trying to figure out how do we, right-size the project, get it to where it needs to be, the high school locker rooms were one of those key components of how do we fund that? How do we get that space paid for? How do we bring the high schools in? Because being a community project, the high schools got to be there. I mean, they just have to be. That is a cornerstone of what goes on. So we're using 623,000 about, Mike? Am I close in the number of that to do all the build out for those high school locker rooms? Everything from the plumbing, the electrical, the HVAC, everything that will make that usable space. And again, the schools, we know that they're, a little short on funds from time to time. So to get those dollars from the schools wasn't working out in the conversations we had. So when this donation came along, it came at just the right spot to say, let's focus on getting these high school locker rooms completed, outfitted, built out, and in a very, very good spot. So the schools are on board. We had a great conversation with both school districts. They're excited that they're going to have this space for their kids. And then this space will also be available for visitors, whether it's a Jets game or when we go to do tournaments, they're available. So they're not just for the high schools, they're multi-purpose, but primarily for the high schools. So couldn't be more excited when that happened. Like I said, the timing was a little fortuitous. And as we're moving along now in this project, the timing worked out great. Christine said correctly, we're over $9 million, and our original goal had been 7, and then we took it up, to get to this 9, and we're there. But I think a very key point in the financing and the capital stack of this, that 9 million, as we've calculated it back, because we're going to have to get a loan against some of those pledges to have the dollars up front to contribute to the project. This isn't last in dollars, these need to be first in dollars. We are very confident we have the path to get 7.5 million, at the point of time when, as Mike outlined, this will come to council for a vote. We'll have that 7.5 as our minimum, because as Christine said, we're not done. And given the time frame of when this will come to council, we've got a month or 2 in here to really go back out, have some great conversation in the community, see if we can move that number a little farther north and get us in the right position. But overall, we couldn't be more excited than where we are right now. The conversations continue to be extremely positive with our donors and prospect donors, and we're going to keep this moving forward. I should double check. Do I have anything else to? There's just kind of updates on the space. And that's where you can see where the locker room addition will go. South side, Mike, is that correct? Am I oriented right there? Better make sure. And like I said, it just was one of those things that came together, and working with Mike and the team and everybody else, this continues to be a tremendous partnership to find the right pathway to get this project across the finish line. So thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Mike or Christine or Larry?
Just want to make clear that at the issuing of the documents for bid does not happen until after we secure how the state is, the funding from the state, correct?
That's correct.
I just wanted to make sure of that.
Yep.
The other thing with this locker room, does that change the footprint of the building?
No, because we had always anticipated that this would be one of the bid alternates.
Okay.
So one of the bid alternate number 2 is the core and shell for that space, and bid alternate number 3 is the full build out of that space.
So that shouldn't change what your guesstimate is what the cost of the facility would be.
Correct. The parking lot is laid out, so we're not moving utilities, we're not moving parking spaces and sidewalks on the exterior. The original estimate of 50.3 million does include the core and shell for those spaces, but it did not include the 630,000-ish for the full build-out. And that's where they had referenced some dialogue had been ongoing between the Milton School District and the School District of Janesville to see what they might be able to bring to the table.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.